And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and we are going to be looking at Lando's Millennium Falcon today. Pretty exciting about this is that these characters have been farmable now for quite a while. What's even better is that the ship is actually a 2-for-1 on the fleet battles. You'll be able to get both the character and the ship, and there's some pretty good other, this is always needed by a lot of people, the Mark III holo projector. So some pretty good loot that you can get out of this. And of course, L3 is one of those characters that is great tank, great droid, great smuggler. There's a lot of things happening with L3 and her kit that make her a wise investment for sure. So definitely worth utilizing. Now, what makes Lando's Millennium Falcon so good? And where would you use him? In the front, in the back, where would you use him? Well, to go for this, look no further than the reinforcement all-in. This ship, just like the Phantom II, is programmed for a very specific slot in your reinforcements. Just like Phantom II really is best utilized as the very first reinforcement and is called in most of the time first. All-in is programmed in a way that allows for him to come in last, and if you put him in your last slot, he will come out last. Now, when he enters battle, he does a bunch of things, and they're all okay, but one of them is really overpowered. The first is that he gets critical damage up for 2 turns. The second is that he copies all buffs from other ships. Now, if there's not a lot of buffs, no big deal, but right now, a lot of people are running Phantom 2, and there tends to be quite a bit of buffing going on in the game, so this could be a pretty big advantage. But what makes him really overpowered is this. Lando's Millennium Falcon takes a bonus turn, so he gets to take his turn when he comes in for reinforcement, and then he gets to take a bonus turn for each reinforcement previously called. So he in the 4th slot will be called 4th, which means there's 3 reinforcements coming in plus his original turn, because these are bonus turns, which means he gets to take a total of 4 turns in a row. That's right. He has another unique ability just kind of playing in the background called Coin Toss, and I don't put much weight into it because you can't really rely on this ability, but it is kind of cool, and it does give a lot of really cool buffing, debuffing, cleansing, and whatnot overall. So he can get +5 critical damage for each enemy without a buff. At the start of his turn, Lando's Millennium Falcon has a 45% chance, this is almost 50% chance when you buff it, it is 50% chance, to dispel all debuffs on a random ally, dispel all buffs on a random enemy, target lock a random enemy, grant speed up for 2 turns to a random ally, and these effects can't be evaded or resisted, so if the coin toss works, then it goes and it happens, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So the problem is it's 50-50. Sometimes this happens, sometimes this doesn't. So you really can't rely on it, but it is pretty cool when it does happen. Now he has 3 abilities, and the first, the basic, is what we're going to talk about. It deals physical damage to a target enemy with a 70% chance to grant defense penetration up to self and another random ally for 2 turns. So pretty good, because there's normally only, 3 to 5 maximum people on your side. And a lot of times you've lost a couple characters, you're trying to get through near the end. And so think about it, he's in reinforcements, he comes in near the end. And if he's coming in near the end, then there's probably not as many people on the field. So more than likely, he's going to give you that little punch you need at the very end to kind of finish off an opponent. Now, his crew power, called Buckle Up, is really good. It has a cooldown of only 2, which means when he comes in, he gets to do 4 turns. He could use this twice in that, which is pretty amazing because he gets to go 4 times in a row. It deals physical damage to a target enemy and inflicts offense down for 2 turns, so it neuters them. And this attack deals 25% more damage against debuffed enemies, which likely is the case because by the time he comes in, there's been a bunch of debuffing going on. And then she has a calculated enhancement ability, cooldown of 4, so you'll only probably end up using it once, so make sure it's one of the 4 turns at the beginning that you use it. But it deals physical damage to a target enemy, dispels all buffs on them, which is really nice. So if it's, buffed up, like a lot of the ships are, such as Phantom II or Ghost, you'll be able to dispel that. And then it says Lando's Millennium Falcon gains 5% critical chance and 5% offense, stacking for each buff dispelled until the end of the encounter. So if you happen to get rid of 4 or 5 buffs, that is going to be 20 or 25% critical chance and 20 to 25% offense. So you really want to use that against somebody who's got a bunch of buffs that you can get rid of, and then just keep in mind to buckle up, you're going to want to target somebody that has debuffs. So her ability, you're looking for green, and for his ability, you're looking for red on those 2 abilities. And then the basic is just the basic as a filler ability. Now, it does go in the 4th slot for reinforcement, so it's really hard to actually film him because most of the time I win my battle way before I ever get to reinforcements. So it's hard for me to showcase it without kind of throwing the game intentionally. But we're going to do my best. And then I also have one of my leaderboard guys who went against me, and he ended up going long enough into the battle that Lando's Millennium Falcon came out. So I'm going to showcase that footage after this battle so you can kind of see on defense how my team did and how Lando's Millennium Falcon behaved with the AI when coming out onto the field. Now let's go get into a battle. All right, let's go ahead and throw out an ability block. Try and land this, at least get stun. We'll call an assist. Let's go ahead and give ourselves some protection up and cleanse. Try and flood the field with our characters. Do a little buff immunity. He's going to take a turn, so I need to hit him before he takes a turn because he'll cleanse that buff immunity off. Yep, and it's over. All right, let's bring in another ship. And he's bringing out his 5th, so it's 5 versus 5. Okay, we got his Houndstooth out of there, and we have Sunfact now we got to deal with. And let's buff our ships. Now, I don't want to end the battle quite yet because I want to showcase Lando's Millennium Falcon on offense. So I am hoping that we can get through to the next reinforcements. Okay, there we go. Heal. Let's just do this. And let's bring out Cassian. There we go. There's the ultimate I was talking about that you might have to face, and it regenerated the ship. So let's just do a basic, declare the foresight. And so you may be thinking, oh no, this is difficult. It's really, really close. Let's do a basic because Thrawn's capital ship increased our cooldowns. Let's do a basic. Let's do a basic. Oh no, the basic killed. Okay, bringing in a reinforcement with a buff. And let's go ahead and bring in Lando's. I know I've got the strike, but let's bring in Lando because I want to showcase him. It's really difficult in these battles to get to that 4th round. So my suggestion is to always do this special over here, calculated enhancement first, and just remember that you want to target somebody that has buffs. The problem is there's nobody on the board that currently has buffs, but we're going to go ahead and do this ability. It did randomly apply target lock, and now we're going to go ahead and use basic to try and put defense penetration up. And he got it. If you look, Lando's ship got it. Defense penetration up, 150, as well as Cassian. And now we're going to do his special. And now we're going to use his basic, and it's just kind of cleans things up. Super fast, easy to get through a team if you have an issue. So definitely a viable ship in the 4th slot. So I know difficult to kind of showcase, but a very, very, very effective ship in that 4th slot. So we know Phantom 2 is probably best in the 1st slot. Lando's is definitely best in the 4th slot. Have you considered starting to invest in these 2 characters and this ship? If not, tell me why in the comments down below, and keep your gaming on. Warrior, out.